The Santiago Bernabeu was electric long before kickoff. Banners, chants, a sense among the crowd that this night would be about more than 3 points. For many, it was the moment they'd been waiting for. Dani Carvajal stepping back onto his home turf after an agonising absence. He had been out for the better part of a year following a devastating right leg injury. And when his name was called and he replaced Trent Alexander-Arnold in the second half, the ovation was genuine and thunderous. This was a hometown hero earning his minutes again and a club celebrating resilience. But joy can be fragile in football, and within minutes, the mood in the stands shifted from celebration to silence when a heavy, studs-up collision with Alejandro Catena left Carvajal on his feet but visibly shaken. The image of that challenge, a crunching contact that had the entire stadium holding its breath, was a brutal reminder of how little separates recovery from relapse in modern sport. What unfolded felt like 2 stories in one evening. The tidy clinical detail of Madrid's narrow 1-0 win and the raw human drama of a player who has spent months rebuilding strength, balance and confidence. The scoreboard showed victory courtesy of Kylian Mbappe's penalty, the result that will warm the club's start to the league. But the replay of that Carvajal moment kept looping in fans' heads and on social feeds. Those minutes on the pitch matter more than ever because they do not exist in isolation. They arrive in the context of a tactical reshuffle that has real consequences for the season. Xabi Alonso has a luxury problem in the right-back slot. A world-class signing in Trent Alexander-Arnold, who brings a different attacking profile, and a tenacious veteran captain in Carvajal, who offers leadership and defensive solidity. The manager's choices now don't just decide a single matchday 11. They shape the rhythm and identity of this Real Madrid side. The medical angle is stark and immediate. Carvajal's rehabilitation after his complex leg injury has been exhaustive. Surgery, months of physiotherapy, gradual reintroduction to training, and carefully managed minutes in competitive games. When a player carries that history, even a tackle that looks routine for one observer can carry catastrophic potential for another. The club's medical staff will run scans and clinical checks in the hours and days after the game. And those results will determine whether this scare is a momentary fright or the start of another enforced absence. Until then, the questions are as tactical as they are medical. Do you protect the veteran and limit his minutes, risk him in key fixtures, or hand the reins to the younger recruit who has adapted quickly to life at the Bernabeu? Each choice has trade-offs: short-term solidity versus long-term planning, immediate chemistry versus squad evolution. Beyond formation sheets and scan results, there's an emotional thread to this story. Carvajal has been a figure of Madrid's recent eras, a player fans identify with, someone whose presence steadies a dressing room. To see him wince or limp even briefly is to feel the club's vulnerability in a visceral way. That's why the reaction at the stadium, the visible concern of teammates, and the flood of messages on social platforms matters. This is not just about minutes played. It's about leadership, continuity, and morale at a moment when the season is only beginning and expectations are sky high. The club must balance empathy with pragmatism. Support the captain, yes, but also ensure the team's defensive baseline is secure enough to chase trophies. So what happens next? Expect a short medical bulletin from the club, a conservative approach to minutes if worries persist, and a media cycle that will parse every substitute appearance for hints about fitness and future selection. On the tactical side, Alonso's options now are more than theoretical. Rotate differently, or reconfigure the right flank to suit the strengths of whichever player is available. And for fans, the long arc of a season can be shaped by small, sharp moments like this. One tackle, one scan result, one managerial decision that ripple into months of games. Tonight, there were 3 points, yes, and those matter. But in the memory of Madridismo, the image that may linger is the ovation that turns to anxiety, and the question of whether a single reckless challenge will be the kind of moment that rewrites a campaign. Keep watching for the club's medical update and for how Xabi Alonso chooses to manage his fullback options across the coming fixtures. This was a season opener that served both as celebration and a warning. Football can lift you up in an instant and in the same breath remind you how fragile a comeback can be.